Welcome in, Dark Hearts. I'm Mooney.
And Wolfie with your Nerd Network news.
Can the living and the dead coexist? We don't quite find out by the end of Beetlejuice 2, but they give us several ghoulishly silly examples of the pros and cons.
The story starts with Lydia Dietz actively trying to find an answer to that question. She's hosting her very own spooky show, and unlike the rest of the ghost hunting shows out there, Lydia gets results. Though that doesn't mean that everybody is convinced of her gifts. Luckily, the trip back home works to convince the non-believers, as the ghost with the most makes his appearance. They did an excellent job of character development with Lydia and Delia. Delia, in particular, became our favorite character to watch, even over Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton brought his classic Beetlejuice style, no character growth on this villain. He is remaining a villain in this film. Yet Delia comes around in such a strong and realistic way. We loved her scenes.
And guys, we gotta talk about probably my favorite silly scene, Beetlejuice Baby.
What an ankle biter.
My main gripe in this entire movie, Monica Bellucci did not get enough screen time, and there wasn't really much of an actual ending there.
She was established as an absolute powerhouse. Her and Wolf Jackson really could have been better utilized. Though I did love the reveal with Wolf Jackson. We were expecting typical Willem Dafoe shenanigans. They went an entirely different direction with this, and we loved it, had us rolling in the theater.
Also, if you need a companion, find yourself a Bob. Everyone needs a Bob.
And despite having only a single line of dialogue, technically speaking, Bob really stole the show in the scenes he was in. I'll take an army of Bobs over the Minion army any day.
And despite the movie having a clear nostalgia checklist, it did an excellent job of subverting our expectations with certain events and character reveals. Y'all, those character reveals, especially Dolores, out of all the character reveals, that one's my favorite.
The movie also manages to walk the line between being more palatable for the modern audience while still maintaining the edge from the 1989 film. Certain repeat jokes in the original that we know wouldn't fly today are replaced with a whole new version of irreverent humor, including drop-kicking the Beetlejuice baby across the room and beyond. I really have to give props for the writers to be able to do modern, edgy comedy. That was something we were definitely worried about going into the movie, as if it would rigidly adhere to the 1980s comedy. But again, it is important to remember that Beetlejuice himself is the villain of both movies. You're not supposed to like him, and that's why he does the rude, crude, and just downright awful things he's doing. Because he's a bad guy.
What can I say? I like being the center of attention.
Dark Hearts, we thoroughly enjoyed watching this film, though it does have its flaws, so I think we can give Beetlejuice Beetlejuice a solid 3 out of 5 Dark Hearts, which would have been so much higher if they could have figured out what they wanted to do with the ending. And we get to meet the incredibly talented V. Neal at Crypticon tomorrow, who herself did the practical effect makeup for the original Beetlejuice.
Dark Hearts, Crypticon starts tomorrow. We're extremely excited that V. Neal is the judge for the makeup contest happening on Sunday. And you'll be able to find us in the main hall. And if you see us, talk nerdy to us.
NNN would like to thank our listeners for tuning in.
And our radio sponsor, 88.1 FM, KVSC, your sound alternative. And Woodforia, DJs, photography, and more. You can get a quote for your special event at minnesotaprodj.com.
Make sure you like and subscribe to darkheart_studios on YouTube, hit that bell, and follow our socials for full video versions of NNN, interviews, and live events coverage.
Thank you for tuning in, Dark Hearts. This is Mooney.
And Wolfie, signing off.